Rini, hey Rini, got a minute? Just a quick survey?
Yeah, sure. But what about the one I filled out last time?
We value your input.
Okay.
You are really important to us.
Kavya.
Your voice matters,
Kavya.
Rini.
Kavya. Follow up without follow through, that's just noise. It's very easy to collect data. But to act on them, that's where the real credibility begins. Now, to break it all down with us, we have Abdul Ansari from Zoho Survey. He's the manager of pre-sales and support team. Now, he's someone who lives and breathes customer conversations. So he knows exactly what it takes to close a feedback loop and to drive data towards direction. Hi Abdul, thank you so much for being here.
Hi Rini, happy to be here.
So Abdul, everyone has heard the phrase closing the feedback loop. Now what does this loop look in practice? And do teams even know where to begin?
Honestly, most don't.
Okay.
They collect responses, tick a box, and call it a day. The loop doesn't start in a spreadsheet. It starts when someone actually hits on the submit button. And that's when they are thinking, all right, I have spoken, now what? And whether you answer that or not decides if your survey builds trust or just collect dust.
All right. So speaking of what happens next, let's talk about the thank you page. The very next moment when a person hits on submit button. Now, is it just for courtesy or can it actually do more?
Well, I would say it's both courtesy and a powerful opportunity.
Okay.
Thank you page is a chance to close with clarity or even start a new loop. Instead of plain thanks, why not show a custom message or redirect them to super relevant web page or even recap what they shared? Tools like Zoho Survey makes this easy with survey end page logic. So what people see depends on how they answer. And that's just one piece of it. Here is another angle. It is also a perfect time to set expectations, let them know if someone will follow up, or invite them to take a next step, like booking a resource or a demo, or joining a referral program. That one small touch can make a massive difference.
Yes, Abdul, that actually makes sense. You know how small actions can shape up the whole experience? Now that we have nailed this moment, how do teams actually start acting on the feedback they've collected?
It starts right at the reporting. The feedback loop begins with listening, not just collecting. Once the responses are in, most teams rush to download the charts or glance at averages. But what is the real value? It comes from spotting the patterns where meaningful follow-up actually begin. You want to look at things like partial response. Where did people drop off and why? Were they even confused? Or even the response time can tell you a lot about their experience. Next up, slice and dice the feedback. Filter by user level, plan type, or NPS category. Identify high impact comments or patterns that repeat. That's when feedback transforms into strategy, and that's when the feedback loop starts to close, moving data into actual decisions.
Brilliantly said, Abdul. All right, so teams collect the insight and start acting on them. That's okay. But doing this at scale, now that's another challenge, right?
Yes.
So is this where automation changes the game?
Yes. Automation is a key here. But most post-trigger summits are pretty underwhelming. There is so much potential, it can transform the entire feedback process. Imagine routing the high priority responses straight into the right teams, updating CRM record, or start sending personalized follow-up, or seamless integration with other tools. This means basically data goes where it needs to go and do what it needs to do, effectively closing the feedback loop while it's still hot.
Exactly. Data should go where it actually needs to go. But this really works only if the tools are talking to each other, right?
Absolutely right.
So where does integration fit into all this?
Integrations plays a huge role here. It turns surveys into action engine. But surprisingly, many of us didn't realize this. When you connect your survey tool with CRM help desk, or project apps, you automate where responses go. Compliance becomes support tickets, qualified leads go to sales, HR feed survey data straight into the ATS for screening. The key here is no data sit idle, turning insights into real action, not just reports.
That's clever actually. But you know what? Everyone sees what happens after the feedback moves in. But we need to see what's in it as well, right? So, how do you make sure the responses coming in are balanced?
Well, to get useful insights, you make sure that your responses reflect your entire audience, not just the loudest noises. Here is where quota comes in. It helps you control how many responses you can get from different groups. So let's say you want 50-50 split from new and long-time user, or maybe an even spread across region. Quota make all that possible. Without them, your results may get skewed by whoever comes first or most often. It is a simple setup, but honestly, it can make a massive difference in how balanced and actionable your insights being.
Yes, actually, balanced feedback makes such a difference.
Yes.
So, but let's say the loop is almost closed, almost. Responses are collected, tagged, and balanced. Now, what is the one thing that teams keep forgetting before it comes full circle?
The most underrated step is closing the loop by letting people know how their feedback was used.
Okay.
It can be simple as a thank you note, a product update email, or a short blog post that says, "We heard you and here is what changed." That transparency can build trust like nothing else. On the flip side, the easiest way to undermine all the efforts and work is by delaying the action.
Okay.
When the feedback sits idle with no acknowledgement, customers assume it didn't matter at all.
All right.
A quick update, even if it is small, that shows responsiveness, that fast turnaround is what keeps the feedback loop alive.
So, Abdul, in the end, it's not about more surveys, it's about the right follow through, I guess.
Exactly. Closing the loop isn't just workflow, it's about mindset. It's about turning every response as a sign of respect, showing people that their voice matters enough to shape what comes next. And that's when surveys being stop as tool and start becoming trust in action.
That's well said, Abdul, because this is the reminder every team needs now. A feedback is not just a checkbox, actually. It's a conversation that never really ends.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you so much for joining us today, Abdul. It was wonderful having you on the show.
Thank you.
Now, if today's chat made you rethink how you handle your responses, good. That's Loop already in action. Thank you so much for tuning into today's episode. We'll see you in the next one, hopefully with a few more loops closed and a lot more people feeling heard.